more than 50% of that capital are to diverse minority owned businesses. I will give you the tools that will help you compete head to head with them. We jump in, I would say, shoulder to shoulder with our client. When the business was sold in 2016, we were funding about $2.5 billion a year. We provide capital to entrepreneurs that allows an entrepreneur to access capital in a number of different ways.
All right, Joel, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and the name of your company?
Okay, I'm Joel Edelman, and I am the founder and CEO of Encore Funding.
Nice. And so tell us, what is Encore Funding? What do you guys do?
So we provide capital to entrepreneurs. Our primary target audience are generally entrepreneurs that I would say are underfunded, underbanked. We're in an environment right now where we're seeing banks contract credit, and there's so many budding entrepreneurs that they just a lot of times, it's not always capital, but quite often it's capital that they need to unlock the opportunity. So we have built a platform that allows an entrepreneur to access capital in a number of different ways for different types of growth opportunities.
Now, you've done this in the past.
I've done it in the past. So
Tell
I
us
am
about that.
starting, Eric, I'm starting year 28 in helping entrepreneurs launch and grow businesses. So 1998, I stumbled upon an opportunity of certain class of businesses that were void of capital. And I was fortunate enough to see the opportunity, assemble a team. And in 1998, we launched a small company. It was called, at the time, Advanced Partners. And over the following 18 years, myself and the team, and I'm fortunate enough to have the same team today. But over those 18 years, we built up a specialty finance business to help these underfunded entrepreneurs take advantage of opportunities. The business was, and I wasn't really even looking to sell the business, but there was an interesting opportunity for our employees, our clients. And in 2016, the business became part of Paychex. But, I will tell you along the way, there are a number of things we're proud of. But when the business was sold in 2016, we were funding about $2.5 billion a year. And that is all into the pockets of our clients that generally cannot access bank financing. So yes, this isn't the first time around for me, but it is the same team that started a successful company 28 years ago. Now we're doing it again.
Why did you decide to come back and do it again?
Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, I will tell you, Eric, I really did miss the business. I get to work with these entrepreneurs that I would say in so many ways they're like myself. Like, we're driven to grow businesses. We're driven to help our clients with problems. I know what it's like to sleep with your cell phone on the nightstand, and our clients, it's nights, it's weekends, it's holidays. You're always on call. Anyways, I really did. I missed helping that group of business owners, take advantage of opportunities. And at the same time, I had sold the company called Advance in 2016. Most of my original team had stayed there, and they just weren't loving life. And every so often, somebody would ping me and say, "Joel, let's do it again. We made such a great difference for our clients, and whatever. We feel young and aggressive and hungry." And so there came a moment where I said, "Okay, we're going to do it." And we relaunched a new business. We're just starting year 4, Encore Funding. But Eric, what's really, I would say, somewhat unique about this platform is, even though it's a new company, the entire management team has been working together for the better part of 25 years. It's just a different cover on the book.
Right.
But it's I don't know. I kind of missed it, and my team wanted to take a shot at doing it again.
I'm going to ask a question that I know people are asking because they want to hear the type of industry. So what type of industries are your clients in?
Well,
Type of
I have found that we can make the biggest difference in industries that I would say are asset light. Now, not only asset light, but often. So an asset light business might be something like staffing. It might be consulting. It might be staff augmentation. It could be statement of work. So these are businesses where the entrepreneur doesn't necessarily have land or building or
Mm,
equipment or inventory. Banks like to lend off
right,
of hard assets.
right,
But those businesses, they don't have any hard assets. I mean, they
right.
have relationships. Often they have accounts receivable, but other than that, a, and a bank just can't. Banks just aren't able to get comfortable with those asset classes. So it's not only those asset-like businesses, but we really do shine when someone needs capital and they don't have an asset base that a bank would like to lend against.
Mm,
But there
that
are
makes sense.
plenty of other businesses that do have assets that we can look at a way for that entrepreneur to leverage. So there are businesses that do have land or inventory or equipment, and we find ways to help them unlock value against those assets. So sometimes somebody may say, "Oh, so you do cash flow lending?" I would say, "Yes, we do." And someone might say, "Oh, well, you do ABL lending?" And I would say, "Yes, we do. They're different. We do both, but we can. I don't know because we're a private lender and not governed by banking rules and regulations and audit committees. We can create financial products that are beneficial to the clients."
Nice, nice. And so, at what point do people, when should I come to you? For example, I know me personally, we have a lot of people that will win a contract. Say, Eric, they'll message me. They'll say, "Hey, Eric, I won this contract. How do I pay for it? I don't have the capital."
Yeah,
Like, is that when they should call you? Should they call you
yeah.
when they're bidding? Like, when should we call you?
Earlier the better, because even if it's just in the bidding, not only do we provide the financing and different funding and lending products, which we do all of that. We also are pretty good in helping our clients navigate the consulting landscape. So we employ full-time people that all they do, these are former government contractors and GSA officers and bid specialists. We employ a team of people just to help our clients navigate the bidding process even before a contract might be awarded. So either
Mm,
way, I would say generally the earlier the better in the process to get us engaged. Because, and Eric, it's not always once you win a contract you need money to start funding it, but often ahead of the contract we see times where a client, an entrepreneur, may need to post a bond
mhm,
or some type of proof of security. Well, that's capital that we will make available to our
mm.
client, and that's before a contract is awarded. So quite often, and at the beginning of that process, there is often a proof of financial responsibility or proof
Right,
of financial wherewithal. And
right.
we jump in. We are, I would say, shoulder to shoulder with our client, showing whether it's a government agency or a contracting officer or a bidding department. We are showing them that our client, with our backing, has the financial wherewithal to handle big capital projects.
And that's very important for everyone listening because he's right. We actually had a student of ours who won a project. They were the low bidder, but they could not show proof of access to capital, like the financial resiliency piece. And
Yeah,
so they rescinded the contract, the government, from them because of that factor.
yeah,
And it's unfortunate because they didn't tell me this until after that had occurred, but they didn't have the ability to be able to show that
yeah,
information.
yeah.
So.
No, it's meaningful, and sometimes it's just a letter. But when we will put in a notice or a letter of uh, financial wherewithal, it carries a lot of weight. So it gives the assurances to the the contracting officer or department that prospective client has the capital needed. So
Can you share with us a success story, either now or from the past, of someone that grew through your financing and was able to become a success in business?
yeah, I mean there's many. There's many. I mean, as I look back on some of the exciting things we've done, as I said, there's many. But one example was, I think back um, in 2010, 14 years ago, was the BP oil spill. So that was making national headlines. Was like a very big problem for environment, economy, the whole Gulf. There were entrepreneurs that came to us that felt they had an opportunity. These were government contracts, most of it through FEMA, not all through FEMA, some direct with BP, but a lot of it through FEMA and different of the marine organizations in getting their arms around the cleanup. So we made a lot of capital available. We actually set up different like funding operations, Eric, right on the beach in the Gulf. And as workers were coming in and out and cleaning up this oil spill, there was a lot of chaos. But my team was there, not only with the capital, so these employers could pay the workers, whether it's weekly in that event. Sometimes the pay was even daily, but it took a lot of organization around getting thousands of people paid on a daily basis in that in the cleanup around that oil spill. And there's no way a bank or most financial institutions could ever understand that. Things were happening so quickly. So that's one example. A different example, we have a special client who is different government securities, and we're providing engineers to Sikorsky and the United Technology companies. And there came a point where there was a real labor shortage. Now, my client had a real niche for being able to recruit labor, and these were mostly engineers working at these government suppliers, and they had an opportunity to place many hundreds of people. These are engineers that are making over $200 an hour. So the
Right.
payroll burden on that project was millions of dollars weekly. And again, there's not a financial institution that could understand the flow of that, how to get comfortable. And at the end of the day, we look to help our client, but I would say one thing slightly different than us, than a typical bank or a lending institution, is we can actually look beyond who the entrepreneur is and get a feel for who their client is. And I will tell you, that's one thing that we will tell. We'll often have an entrepreneur come to us and say, listen, Joel and team, I've only been in business 2 years and I've only done $3 million in billings. I now have this multi-million dollar opportunity. Why would anybody even consider me for this? And I will encourage them to go forward, because with us, I kind of look at it as, Eric, a 3-pillar stool. These entrepreneurs need 3 things. And in our opinion, they need capital, number one. They need a little bit of software. And we do provide them with a platform for helping them manage their business. It interfaces with our back office, so it's a seamless integration. And they need consulting, and we provide that. So I don't know. I guess it's a long-winded answer to say that we are encouraging our clients to go after all the business, and more often than not, we're able to help them capture it.
No, I think that's great. What I found interesting, it's true. When you are smaller, you are afraid because you're like, well, I don't have all the resources to pursue that. So what you're saying is, hey, I'm going to give you that backing so you can pursue that work that you have the knowledge to do. You just, like you said, you don't have some of the other resources, the financial acumen, and the support in terms of, like you said, the tools to be able to manage the cash flow for those projects. Because I would imagine that cash flow, understanding that, having not done millions weekly. Going from millions annually to millions monthly or millions weekly is probably somewhat of a difference. It's
Yeah.
probably very unique.
It is, and I'll tell you, and in government, I mean, there's obviously many tentacles into government contracting, but one very big one are things aligned with staffing. Not all staffing, but there's quite a lot of opportunities, billions and billions of spend in staffing. I will tell you, I can tell that entrepreneur in that business, use our services. I will make you competitive with the largest staffing companies, whether it's Kelly or Manpower or Adecco or Robert Half. I will give you the tools that will help you compete head to head with them. They don't have any more money than you have if you have me behind you. They don't have better technology if you're leveraging my platform. They're no smarter than you with what you know in the contracting space, plus
Right.
my team behind you. So I will tell you, we will level the playing field for the smaller, mid-size entrepreneur that's growing. We'll level the playing field. They can compete against the big guys.
That's good to know. That's good to know. No, I think that's great. I like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything restrictive in terms of like regions? Is there any industries that you won't pursue? Right? What are some of your like, hey, we won't do this type of work?
There are some classes of trade that are more difficult than others to finance.
Okay.
Not impossible, but I will tell you, and within government opportunities, construction is often an opportunity. Construction can be more difficult,
Right.
only because you typically have a general contractor, and then under a general you have a sub, and then maybe a sub of a sub. So either way, we try to help our clients navigate and try to help protect our clients in that pecking order of working in the construction industry, because you don't always know who's paying you, because the money flows, like I said, from a GC to a sub to a different sub. Either way, that is one area that it just takes a little more brain power. We do it, but we do it carefully. Also within healthcare, and even particularly in the government, there's a lot of, we're in a time, Eric, of aging population. So
Mhm.
baby boomers like me, we're getting older, and we need certain types of healthcare. Well, the government provides a lot of different types of healthcare. There's, between federal and state run, like nursing agencies and home health care opportunities. It's a huge, it's a huge growing business, but once again, you need to navigate who you're getting paid by. And sometimes in those cases, sometimes it's Medicare reimbursement or Medicaid reimbursement that takes specialty billing opportunities and niches, which we help provide to our clients. So sometimes it's very easy, but sometimes when you don't know, when you're getting paid down a chain of cash flow, you don't always know where the money is coming directly from. So we help our clients figure that out and get comfortable with it.
Kind of a different question because I know sometimes the people receive grants, right, through the government contracts. Have you ever worked with any of that stuff?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We actually encourage our clients and help our clients apply for grants.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, we will recommend grant writers. When a client can get a grant, first of all, to get, not only just will we encourage them to look and apply and write for grants, but quite often, even with a grant, you need to show um, an infrastructure of your business. You
Sure.
need to show that, yeah, not only are you able to like provide the uses that the grant is looking for, but they're going to want to know that you have some type of a corporate infrastructure. Well, I mean, I will tell you, Eric, we're very proud of our corporate infrastructure. And once again, this is a tool that our clients can leverage. So with our, I would call it, let's just call it our back office. With our back office, our clients in a bid process can make a representation that they have world-class billing and invoicing and cash application, that pay, if they're providing any type of labor, that the payroll is being paid accurately weekly with the proper taxes and deductions taking out. So I would say even early in the bidding process, we can help that entrepreneur leverage our back office, so they look better on paper in the bid process.
I like that. Actually, I like that a lot. You know, it's interesting. I don't think that we understand that how valuable that is. That's extremely valuable for
Well, it's an
people.
outsourced back office. You can't expect a small, even certainly a startup, but even a newer small medium business to have a robust back office. But if you're a contracting officer looking to award, multi-million dollar contract, well, you're going to want to know that that supplier has the back office capability. So we offer that. It's an outsourced back office that our clients leverage.
Well, I hope you talk about that. So let's bring it back up to our event coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You were just talking. We were talking offline. You said you're going to bring your staff there. What kind of things can people expect to learn from you in your session?
Yeah. Well, they're gonna hear about not walking away from an opportunity because they think that there's no way they'll be able to fund an opportunity. Um, the access the access to capital is there, and as I said, there are a number of ways to advance capital. Um, there's factoring of accounts receivable, and there's lines of credit, and there's ABL facilities, and there's over advances, and there's term loans. There are many different ways that we can advance capital to an entrepreneur to take advantage of these opportunities. So, my first message is don't walk away from any opportunity, even if it feels like it's way, way, way too big, because even if it is bigger than you can handle, obviously there's always teaming and partnering opportunities, and we'll help facilitate that as well. And then, I'm going to want your audience to know that there are really strong back office capabilities that they can leverage. Not only do I want to be looked at as an alternative to a bank, to a business that is underfunded or underbanked, but I'm going to open up a world-class, robust back office of payroll, billing, invoicing, credit, collections, cash posting, at the end of the year, sending out, if needed, W-2s, 1099s. Like, we are, my back office becomes my client's back office. So when I say level the playing field, I'm going to want your audience to know that use my services. You're going to have the capital to compete against anyone, and you're going to have a robust back office that will that can handle any type of volume.
I love that because one of the things that I talk about to small businesses is when you have certain contract sizes, especially if you have a social economic designation, you've got to perform 50% or more of the work. And what has to happen is, and I did this myself, I encourage them to get a payroll company, but you're saying you offer that service similar so that they can move some of the payroll staff from the prime to their staff so that they can meet that 50% goal. And so
Yeah,
you're saying, go
we,
for it.
we are deeply involved in that process, Eric. And listen, I will tell you one thing I'm very proud of. So we have hundreds of clients. We are today, after only 3 years in business, just starting our fourth year, we're advancing about $1 billion in excess. We actually have a milestone this week of hitting the $1 billion mark in 2024. So we're advancing over $1 billion a year to our clients, and we are right in the middle of a minority owned or a diverse owned entrepreneur bringing on extra payroll. Yes, they need to manage the bulk of those billings, and often it's 50% or
Right.
greater. And we're right in the crosshair. So, and I will tell you, of our hundreds of clients and the billion a year that we're putting out, more than 50% of that capital are to diverse minority-owned businesses.
Wow.
Whether female, African American, Native American, vet, disabled vet, like we are very proud to put capital out to a segment that capital's void, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
But either way, that's our niche.
Well, I can tell you that when we met up in Virginia,
Yeah.
I know one of my students who had some service projects where they're staffing up down in Atlanta. I know that they met Shelly and they talked, and so they were very happy with what you guys were doing. So I don't know what it was, but they were very happy with it. So.
Well, you know what, Eric, and I'm not sure why it works so well, but entrepreneurs like working with other entrepreneurs. And so obviously we're not a bank, as I said, we're not a chartered bank, or we have no federal regulations. We're an entrepreneurial private lending organization, and we can make decisions that are best for our clients and not have to fit into financing and banking rules. Um, but our clients, knowing that the door is open, the entrepreneur to entrepreneur, I will tell you, our clients have our cell phone numbers, and we are working nights, weekends, holidays. So listen, it's not always easy um, running these growing smaller businesses, and there's a lot of twists and turns. But I don't know, our customers knowing that we are a text message or a phone call away brings a lot of comfort.
No, I will tell you that I myself and many of the people that I know, we just never been able to get financing from traditional banks for
Yeah,
anything. I
yeah,
mean, not for, I mean, nothing.
yeah,
And I personally have so many stories. Even my friends who had a lot of assets, they put up all their real estate investments as collateral. And then if the market changes, the banks take back all their lines of credits. They take back all their access to they just rescind, they just take everything back. Like
yeah,
like as if you don't exist. Like if you didn't matter, like you don't need this money, you don't need these resources. So I appreciate what you're doing.
yeah. Well, thank you. It's been gratifying. We've helped over 1,000 entrepreneurs launch businesses. We've seen many beautiful success stories of sales, of mergers, of acquisitions. We've had clients go public. It's really quite gratifying seeing a small business accelerate. And at the end of the day, it's really, they need a little bit of capital, and they need some back office and a little bit of consulting. So I don't know. We love filling that niche. So
Nice. So best place to reach out to you is through your website, encore-funding.com.
on core-funding.com, and we have a team of people that have been, collectively, we have hundreds, many hundreds of years in this industry. But I will tell you, the whole leadership team of the company, all of our senior managers, senior leaders, the owners, this is a group of people that have been working together for over 2 decades. So we not only do we like working with each other, but we really love getting involved with our clients. So it's kind of getting in the mind of the entrepreneur. I would tell you, I don't know that there's any lending company that does that any better than Encore Funding.
Wow, nice. Well, Joe, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in Miami.
We're going to have fun.
We're gonna have fun, and hopefully, we could talk more about how else we can get hands in a couple. Because I can personally tell you, for me, since I've been doing this teaching online, that has been my biggest obstacle is getting my students access to capital, and it's been my greatest challenge. And I talk to so many companies, but I just never know who to trust. And so we definitely would like to talk more about your platform, talk more about what you guys are doing, because we really that is for me, that's been my greatest obstacle, my greatest challenge in helping my students is being able to because I help them win contracts, but I can't help them that side, right? So like I gave you the example earlier, someone won a contract, but then they lost it because they didn't have the letter of credit or the proof of funds to be able to do the work.
Yeah. Well, it can be an intimidating process, and I will tell you, Eric, even for me, as we're looking to grow our own business, and we have different sources of capital, it's intimidating, and I don't know. I just want your students and your community to know that an opportunity with Encore, it will not be an intimidating process. We do this every day. We're helping entrepreneurs start companies, launch companies, grow companies. And no opportunity, I seriously mean this, there's no opportunity that is too small. A small opportunity will grow into a bigger one, and we recognize that. So,
Joel, thank you so much. I appreciate your time this morning.
all right, buddy. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks. All right.
See
I'll
you
see you.
soon. Bye.
Bye.